from the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I knew it was
Carl
Anthony
Towns.
There it is.
Best record in
Holy
the Western
shit.
Conference for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I'm
And
sorry.
He joins his teammate Anthony Edwards on this team. Carl Anthony Towns.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now.
Wait,
No,
take a breath.
I'm going to take back everything I've said where I'm like, hey, Kings fans, don't worry about the media. Don't worry about the disrespect and the coaches. No Kings made it?
Of at
Let's
least
hear.
30 points, and that's 62.
This
against
is bad.
Charlotte. And so that completes the
It's-
Western Conference reserves. And what's the first thing that stands out to you?
Are you kidding?
Right.
It was to me. It was between De'Aaron Fox and Carl Anthony Towns. And
What
so
about
De'Aaron
Domas
Fox has the
Sabonis?
numbers to back up everything that he's doing in the Western Conference. Tough conference. He has been sensational as a normal 20. I think he's 26, 27 points a game. You know, that's a tough out. But when you're winning that at that proficiency as the Minnesota Timberwolves, I thought they would get two players. And so Carl Anthony Towns or him.
Yeah, well, Sacramento got shut out.
It's a joke.
They did.
And they're the number 5 team in the West.
Let's hear it.
They are, but Kenny's point, they rewarded winning with Carl Anthony Towns. You know, they've been at the top of the West for a while now. So I got no problem with this team at all.
Well, it was announced, and it goes as followed. Kawhi Leonard made it. Devin Booker made it. Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Paul George, Anthony Davis, and Carl Anthony Towns. No Fox, no Sabonis. The Sacramento Kings, who are the 5th seed in the NBA's Western Conference, pretty much the same record they had at this point last year. Fox and Sabonis, better than they were last season, do not make the team. Just so you remember, last year, it was only Sabonis who was named. Fox was named as an injury replacement. Sabonis has been on the tear. Fox has had a career year with a slight dip in January, but no Sacramento Kings make the All-Star team. Be honest, Morgan, are you surprised by this?
Absolutely. And it's tough sometimes because I go, look, we cover the Sacramento Kings, right? And sometimes you got to make sure that you're seeing what everyone else is doing out there as well. And I'm going to be watching these players every single night where I'm watching other players, every other night whenever they're playing whatever. But with Domas and De'Aaron in this season and what they've been able to accomplish on the floor as individuals has been absolutely incredible. They have both taken a leap in their games on both ends of the basketball floor.
Yep.
It's not just, oh man, this guy's shooting so much better from 3 or his offense, no one can stop him. It's like, no, they're playing complete basketball games while sharing the basketball, playmaking, becoming a huge threat and being able to make the entire team better. Yeah, I would say I'm a little surprised.
I am stunned.
I'm surprised.
An absolute joke that these NBA coaches did not vote one player from the Sacramento Kings as an All-Star this year. I am stunned by it. And the game, I know Zach Lowe always says it, okay, if you're making a case, who are you taking off the team?
Yep.
Here's my one case just to take off. The Lakers, who are 24 and 25 coming into tonight, you don't get 2 All-Stars. You don't get 2 All-Stars. Anthony Davis is having an amazing year.
Amazing.
I'm sorry. You're a losing team. You don't get 2. I don't care about the market size or the name value. If you're an All-Star and you've got 2 on your team, then you better be well above 500.
Yeah.
They're not. That, to me, is number one.
Mm-hmm.
The Steph Curry one, I don't have a problem with Steph Curry being on the team. We should know. The Warriors are 20 and 24. 4 games below 500. It is Steph Curry.
He's an
He's an
all-star.
icon. He's important to the game, and he's still having a great year.
Yep.
He dipped, though, like De'Aaron Fox.
Dipped in January.
This, to me,
He'll be fine.
is something that I've kind of pushed aside for a long time. Anytime Kings fans get in their feelings about being disrespected by the national media or disrespected by other teams in the league, I'm like, look, man, they made the All-Star team last year, All-NBA, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm with you now. This is all I needed to see. This is the ultimate form of disrespect. This is the ultimate form of, hey, Sabonis and Fox, what you're doing is cute, but we're going to put in these guys who are on losing teams in ahead of you. Morgan, it's not just the winning team aspect of it. Let's just start with Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, God. Let's start there.
He is averaging on the season 19.9 points per game. He's leading the NBA in rebounding, 13 rebounds per game, a career high. He's averaging 8 assists per game, a career high. He's shooting 45% from three, and I know he's not taking a ton of them, but still, that's a career high, 61% from the field. He plays hard. He's gotten better in every way possible this year. And by the way, Kings still a good team, the 5th spot in the Western Conference. Should we continue with the fact that he has 29 consecutive double-doubles? On the season, he has 13 triple-doubles. He had 14 all of last season, Morgan Reagan. This guy has been an absolute force for the Sacramento Kings, and for him not to be acknowledged as an all-star this year is embarrassing. It's disrespectful. It's fine if Sabonis doesn't care about it. Fox already said he doesn't care about the all-star game. It's not about the actual game. It's about the acknowledgement of, hey, you guys are awesome. You guys were all NBA players last year. You're all-stars last year. But this year, you came back better. You're playing better basketball than ever, and you don't make the team. If I'm in the Kings locker room, I'm pissed about it. I'm like, this is irritating. The chip on your shoulder better be huge. Come out swinging, because they don't respect you. Fans don't respect you. The media, San Francisco calling Sabonis empty calories. Coaches apparently don't respect him either.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing.
Well, that's the part that I go,
Man, I am just stunned, Morgan.
I can tell, dude.
I'm sorry.
You go in that locker room and you tell them, okay? You tell them what they need to do tomorrow against the Indiana Pacers. It is, I get it. It's stunning. It's surprising, all of the above. I think we thought that Domas was a lock. But at the same time, the way that at times he doesn't get the respect from like national media or whatever, I always just say, who cares? You know, I was just always like, who cares? Sure, they can help change the narrative on some of these people, or, you know, make some people look better than others because they obviously have a platform. I didn't think that it was going to sway coaches in the way that they game plan. And like, you can go down, even if you were to go down the stat lines of some of these guys, and you see a guy like Anthony Davis, for example, who is averaging almost 25 points a game, almost 4 assists, and 12 rebounds, right? And I go,
and great defense.
And great defense. Great defense. I'm like, are people looking down at the points? Are they looking down at a certain category and going, what this guy contributes? Like, he's averaging a little bit more? Because Domas is at 19, and I'm just confused as where their mind goes. And I understand the dominance of Anthony Davis, but the dominance isn't playing a part into this team being better.
They're 24 and 25.
Other teams.
They're 24 and
exactly.
25. If the stats are like the same or whatever close, I'm going to lean toward the winning team a little bit here. Someone in the chat, I think on Twitter, Matt Mossman, said, it's funny that I can go to NBA.com and see Domas is listed as 7th on the MVP ladder, but he can't get in on the All-Star bench.
You guys.
And so that, to me, this is mind-numbing, okay? So you look at the Lakers getting 2 All-Stars. Kawhi and Paul George, I had them on my list. I thought they were both deserving. The Clippers have playing great basketball.
Yes.
Those guys have stayed healthy.
They're staying on the floor.
They've been beyond efficient. I felt like they were deserving. I thought Booker deserved to go for sure. But look, Suns are technically behind the Kings, and they get 2. So
Sure.
The T-Wolves, they get 2. They're the number 1 seed by a game. They've had a great year. Anthony Edwards is a stud in the half. I thought there was maybe a case even for Gobert to make the team. Karl Anthony Towns gets the nod. Towns is putting up good numbers. The 3-point shooting from him is just outrageous for a guy his size. We haven't seen someone his size shoot the ball from 3 that efficiently.
44%.
But, they do have the lead by 1 game in the West. It's not like they're leading by 17 games and crushing the rest of the West.
They're there.
I'm really surprised that the Sacramento Kings did not get 1. I think it's a big mistake, and I hope one of those guys gets in as an injury replacement, Fox or Sabonis. We haven't talked about Fox yet, but this is head-scratching to me
Well,
that both guys don't make it what the hell?
Sometimes I go, there has been so many moments and times where Domas has become the one that you're not stopping. And you're not stopping him as a playmaker at times, leading guys with a pass, making sure to create the best shot for the team, for that offensive possession. His screens, it's pure beauty out there. You're not going to be able to navigate through a brick wall like Domas Sabonis. His rebounding ability, that alone can finish off an entire play and keeps creating second chance opportunities for his team as well. I just think about all these dominant skills that Domas has given to this team that has translated into so many more W's than some of these other guys have seen that are on this NBA All-Star list. And so, yeah, it's just a little confusing on what maybe coaches define as dominance, or maybe they find it that his game is boring and they can stop it. I don't know.
Willsy had another stat. Domantas Sabonis is currently averaging 19.9 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. Only one other player in NBA history has ever finished a season with at least 19, 13, and 8. One other player. It's Wilt Chamberlain. Now, people in the comments reference, well, what about Jokic? He had 7.9 assists. Come on, that's 0.1. So, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Throw Jokic in there. The guy's amazing.
You're putting him on a list with Jokic and Will.
And he doesn't make the team in the West.
Too boring.
This is just, this is really disappointing by the NBA coaches. Now, De'Aaron Fox, I thought, had a legit case. And the way he started this year, it seemed like for a stretch, it was going to be a no-brainer. He was cruising, averaging 30 points a game. He walks in now averaging 27.2 points per game. That's a career high. He is shooting 46% from the field, a career best 38% from beyond the arc on 8 attempts per game.
Damn.
He has made more threes through 40 games than he did all of last season.
Mm-hmm.
He made 119 threes last year. That was a career high last season. He's already at 120 made threes this year. Now, in the month of January, his numbers did dip. In 15 games, he averaged 22 points, and the efficiency dropped. He shot 32% from three, 43% from the field, and also had 4.5 assists. He definitely struggled a bit. I think that was going to hurt his case. I thought he still had a case. He's having a career year. He's trying to get through this funk, whatever the hell has been going on with him. He's still having a great year. I kind of understand that based on the other guys in the competition in the Western Conference this year, but he's still having an all-star worthy year.
If he didn't have this January slump, you know, he's a lock. And I'm saying that thinking Domas was a lock, though, so who even knows? But I remember when I, in December, was at the G League Showcase, and I was talking to people, and they were just like, De'Aaron Fox. They're it's not even just his shot-making ability. His range is just out of control this year. And it was so efficient before January. I mean, he was shooting 40% from three-point land until January, and he hit his little slump. So, yeah, he's also been playing incredible. I think the only reason why I keep going to being like, I get it, because the Western Conference is so stacked with so many guards, so many people that big names, all those things, that I was like, okay, he's, if anything, going to be like the snub in my eyes, and because of his January drop.
I think Sabonis is one of the biggest snubs of all time.
It's pretty bad. Like, honestly, I'm stunned. I'm using your word. I'm stunned.
He's been an all-star before. He was an all-NBA player last year, made the all-star team last year. The Kings were the surprise story. It was fun, right? Oh, but could they do it another year? Look, it hasn't been as smooth this year for the Sacramento Kings, but the record's still about the same. And that's worth acknowledging, and those guys have gotten better. So my instant reaction to this is, man, disappointing. And I hope for the Kings, even if you don't totally care about it, like De'Aaron had some comments yesterday to the B, and he said this in previous years. He doesn't really care about the All-Star game. I don't know why he doesn't care. I personally wish he didn't say that stuff.
Why? He's just being himself.
Yeah, but what's the point in that? Because it doesn't reflect great on anybody. So I don't think he should have said it, but that's his thing. It's his opinion. I think part of it is he doesn't want to go to All-Star Weekend. He'd rather just chill and have a vacation with the fam. Cool. I respect that. Anyway, even if you don't want to go, this should be for your team. If I'm Mike Brown, I'm walking in the locker room. We're talking about that tomorrow.
What are you talking about?
No one respects you guys. Nobody. It's one thing for the media not to respect you. They get stuff wrong. The fans, it's a popularity contest. These coaches, I'm Mike Brown.
Oh.
Rick Carlisle.
Hey, coach.
All these guys, all these head coaches who have votes didn't think you were worthy enough. You're crushing it. You have career marks. Not good enough. So what you need to do, go out there and send a message. Take off in the second half of the season and smash the NBA world. Be locked in and be ready to go. Because it's not only a slap in the face to you as individuals, it's a slap in the face to your team. The rest of the league saying, yeah, you had cute accomplishments, but whatever, we don't buy into you.
I'm just guys that make an entire team, in a team sport, they make an entire team that much better. You know, and again, I keep saying translating into W's because some of these other guys that made the team, their individual game is not making their team better, and it's not translating into wins. So, yeah, it's just it's disappointing to see, and not even because I would love to have all these Kings players as all-stars. Yeah, it's so fun to be able to root for and say. It truly is, I think, disrespectful to people who have taken their game to a whole nother level, who have put in the work. And I get it. There's so many guys that put in the work, but there's only a few players every year that their work actually pays off, and it makes a huge difference. And I'm even thinking about Domas on the defensive end, how he would foul out in so many games last year, and you're just not seeing that this year because he has been able to be that much stronger, be that much more disciplined, be that much more vertical. It's just bullshit.
And then from De'Aaron's perspective, his defense has gotten way better.
Yes.
His steals are at a career mark. His deflections are top 3 in the NBA at 3.2 per game. Here's my other question. And I know we're not going to spend an hour dissecting this. It just, we're reacting to it as it just happened. What could they have done to make it? And I guess from Sabonis' standpoint, I don't think there's anything else he could have done. The only thing you could say is maybe if they're in the top 4.
Top 3.
That's it.
Top 3.
And because some of the guys that made it, the Lakers, they're probably going to lose to the Celtics tonight without LeBron and AD. They're going to be 24-26.
Right next to the Utah Jazz.
I saw AD and Sabonis go head-to-head. Sabonis torched him. AD, was he even at that game?
Stop.
I don't know.
One game. But yeah.
No, but it's more than just that. I think this is a huge swing and miss. So, those T-shirts that say Sacramento versus everybody, I'm ordering a whole bunch of them because it's true. It's true. I've never been that guy. I am officially that guy now.
Oh my God.
This is
lit
bad.
A fire under your ass.
I'm fired up. You put me in against the Pacers, I might have 15 points tomorrow.
Put him in, coach. Put him in.
I might lock down TJ McConnell. I'm not allowing him to destroy me. I mean, help me out here, Morgan.
Ass.
I mean, I don't. Am I too angry about this? I'm just.
Here's what I'll say. What I love about what we do. We come on and do live instant reactions. Sometimes what we're going to do later, and then what we're going to be talking about in tomorrow's night chat, maybe a little bit, we'll hear some reasoning behind some of these. No. I'm not acting like reasonings are going to justify. Can I just say you're going to hear some reasonings behind it? Because even when you're on the TNT broadcast and you hear Charles and Shaq, they both go, yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this. Why? Tell me more. Break it down.
Those guys aren't paying attention.
But that's my point. And I want to hear the other side of it. I want to hear some national people and their opinion and whys, whether I'm going to agree with it or not. Because I do believe that you're bullshitting me if you don't act like it is the Lakers, the market, and that also being the push and the thing that is helping Anthony Davis. Although Anthony Davis is absolutely playing like an all-star. But again, what's the criteria? A historic year and being above that Lakers team in the standings isn't going to get you in before Anthony Davis. It's a little weird to me.
or Cat, or I don't.
I try to stay away because I agree, but I try and stay away from Cat because their team as a whole has been super special this year, and he is a part of that. And they are in the number 1 seed, whether it's by 1 game or not. Deuce, it does not matter. That number 1 is next to their team name, but that would be the only team that would be like, I get the 2. But then when you go down the list, it's like, we're playing favorites again. We're doing this thing. You wear that Lakers jersey. Like, it just puts you up on another level. Ugh, get out of here. Get out.
I guess Sabonis, if you want a shot at All-NBA, you have to average like 40, 27, and 10. And you might have a shot at All-NBA. Because the NBA coaches were like, oh, that number hasn't been reached since Wilt. Yeah, but Wilt's was way higher, so you didn't even match him. It's not good enough. It's insane.
It is
insane that a top 5 team in the West does not get an All-Star. And
let them sleep. Let them sleep. And you know what? Shut them up with some wins then, you know?
Yeah, and that's a great way to do it for sure. Minnesota got 2 All-Stars. OKC got 1 in SGA. The Clippers got 2.
Yep.
The Nuggets got 1 in Jokic.
Yep. Which
some
even
would have
you
made
could,
it.
Jamal Murray.
Okay. The Kings 5, 0. The Suns 6, 2. The Pelicans 7th did not get 1. 8. Dallas, Luka in. The Lakers 9th get 2 in. Utah at 10th, nothing. Houston, nothing. Golden State 1 in Steph Curry. So the only team in the top 6 right now who did not get an All-Star, the Sacramento Kings. Disrespect.
It should have been Steph and LeBron for sure being those losing teams.
Okay.
And
I agree.
And I'm good with that.
So then there's one spot open, you take AD off. Okay.
Yeah. And that's hard. I understand, like, there's going to be so many people that push back on that and go, and I think a lot of national people will be like, he's playing out of his mind. Like, you pick one or the other. And it's like, well, I mean, don't you pick the one that's winning more games too? And like, I mean, if you want to put them right next to each other, they're both playing out of their minds, but this one's winning.
I know we pay attention, but I watch the league too. I'm watching. If the Kings aren't playing, I'm watching games. When I get done with this, I'm turning on League Pass and watching games. Sabonis and Fox have been great this year. Sabonis has been more consistent, but both of those guys came back better than they were last year.
Absolutely.
And
it's obvious. And it is obvious that they have. Like, people are talking about it. And if people aren't writing, I love that people just write. People aren't writing about it and putting that narrative out there, I guess it's just not getting pushed out there enough. And that's why teams and organizations give a shit. Anytime there's some like bullshit thing written, I'm always like, why do you care? Why do you care? Now I get it. Because this stuff, it does matter. It does ultimately help things. Yes.
Final thought, go win.
Yes.
Go win. Be
Agreed.
engaged. And this is a time to get a little fired up about it. It's not just about individual achievement, but like I said, to me, this is a message that the league, media, fans don't care about you. You weren't even in, hey, Sabonis, you weren't even in you barely broke the top 10 in like fan voting in the front court, I think. I don't even know if he ultimately did. Maybe at the end. Fans don't care. Whatever. We know the media has been mixed on him.
Sure.
And the coaches now. This needs to galvanize you a little bit. You need to come out against the Pacers, your former team. The ultimate revenge game.
Well, you hope.
You show up because you're pissed. Your team got disrespected. You got disrespected, and you're facing your former team. I can't wait for Kings and Pacers. I'm going to be on pre- and post-game tomorrow on NBC Sports California with Morgan Reagan. Actually working the next 2 games.
I know.
I got called up
Deuce
again.
and Mo all weekend
So,
long,
of
baby.
course, we're going to have more reaction to that. We're going to be live tomorrow night following Kings and Pacers to break down the game and talk more about that. Let us know in the comments below, do you feel that Fox and Sabonis got snubbed? Did one get stubbed? How do you feel about the All-Star team in general? Let us know in the comments below. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you, but we gots to go.
See ya.
Pause. Okay. I forgot to do super chats at the end, and I'm going
you.
to do that before we go. Geeky Nana donates $5. Appreciate you sending love to you all and putting out good energy to the universe for King's love.
Thank you, Geeky Nana.
You are the best. Laylo donates $2 saying Sacramento feels the disrespect.
Hell yeah.
Damn right.
Thank
Ian donates $5 saying, Deuce, not even prime Elijah Wan could lock down TJ McConnell. We're not talking about a mere mortal like LeBron or MJ. This is TJ McConnell.
Oh, that's so good.
Dude, TJ was really good.
Thanks, Ian.
Paw Patrol donates $2 saying, Sacktown versus the world. I welcome their hatred.
Yeah.
Let's use it as fuel.
Energy.
Let's go.
Oh my
Man,
God.
you know what I can't wait for? A side note, and we'll go for real.
What?
Is there's gonna be other fan bases who watch this and going, oh, these Kings homers. Look at and shut up and like the beams are in King's head and he's crying about some
100%. And I get that. And that's why even I think about those things when I'm talking, because I go, okay, if someone else was watching this, am I saying everything that I would say? And I'm like, yes, but I'm also someone that is watching these games, Kings games, every single game, where I'm watching T-Wolves games whenever I can on off nights, but which is a lot, but still, it's like every single play, every single possession I'm watching of Fox and Sabonis. And I'm telling you, and I watch so much NBA, the dominance there. Yeah. It's crazy to me. It is crazy to me that they didn't get named All-Stars.